Coming up today on This Is True Really News, Tony gives me a look. I suppose that'll do.
I can probably come up with another if you give me a while.
Yeah, okay, give me a good look. Yeah, well, I'm afraid that's as good as it's going to get.
That's probably one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Probably top 8.
If you like looks the way we like looks, please like, subscribe, and follow This Is True Really News, and ring the bell so you get notified whenever we're doing crap. If you have something to say to us, you can leave it right where you found us, and we'll get the message, and we'll talk about you behind your back. If you have something longer you need to tell us, or you want to send us a story or a picture or something.
A picture?
Picture. Send it to TITR@netradio.network.
Yes.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Verkinnes. All the news you're about to hear is true,
Really?
as far as you know.
Let's just call these, shall we, less than competent stories from history. A 52-year-old. Well, sort of. No, not our history.
Oh, I was going to say, because that would take too long.
That would take, like, monumental effort. It'd be like reading all of Lord of the Rings, okay?
Oh, Lord. Can't do it. I've never been able to do it.
I start and I just can't get there. Nope. A Kenyan executive named Leonard Muthiga? Sure.
Leonard.
Let's call him Leonard.
Yeah.
Followed his wife of 22 years to the United States, hoping to convince her to come home with him. Well, when she refused, he apparently said the best plan was she should die.
Well,
that was the best plan he could come up with on short notice.
Yeah, well, dude, you got to really think these things through.
During an Uber ride, oh boy,
with a witness, no less,
Leonard told the driver he was very, very mad and needed a hitman. You know how they always say, "No, I didn't mean it. I was just kidding." No, there's no way you make that into a joke. I'm sorry. The Uber driver did what most people would do. He got in touch with Connecticut State Police, who enlisted him as an informant. Between September and December, the two engaged in multiple conversations about this plot, all of which were shared with, well, the authorities, because, yeah. Leonard wanted his wife injected with something to make her very, very sick, like a cancer. Do they have cancer shots?
Well, if you listen to some people, yes.
That's true. He wanted her sandwich to hit the floor slowly, is the idea here. Finally, on December 4th, the informant introduced him to a hitman.
It was a slow motion sandwich flooring.
Don't tell me it was really an undercover cop. They paid the undercover cop the money. Leonard asked that she be made less aware of life while he was away in Kenya, so he would have an alibi. I'm sure all parties agreed. Oh, wait, no, he was arrested, held on $5 million bond.
I mean, you can see where that might happen.
Dude, if you're going to do something illegal, no matter what it is, much less the murder, don't be blabbing to your Uber driver.
Right? Well, and if I'm the Uber driver, I'm going, I can't help you, dude.
Now, I think this is where you get out now.
Yeah, get out of my car.
And don't inject me with cancer.
Ever again. This from Newser. It appears British school children are suddenly sounding like they've stepped off a school bus in Ohio. Teachers across the UK say they're hearing more students use American vocabulary in the classroom, according to a survey by TeacherTapp for the Times of London. In other
Normally,
words,
I'd applaud.
Yeah, but hang on. This is actually kind of a cute, because,
wait.
We had the problem with Peppa Pig over here.
Okay.
In other words, the kids are saying garbage instead of... In other words, the kids are saying garbage instead of rubbish and candy instead of sweets.
They say water instead of water. What is it?
Well, it depends on where you are.
That's true.
The shift is most pronounced among younger pupils, with 65% of primary school teachers reporting their students say candy, compared with only about a quarter of secondary teachers. Educators and parents largely...
What do you say besides candy?
Sweets. Would you stay with it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sweets was the guy on Bones.
Never mind that now. Educators and parents largely chalk it up to children's media diets, endless YouTube hours, American-dominated streaming platforms, and influencers like Mr. Beast and Coco Melon.
Coco freaking Melon?
What's a Coco?
My grandsons love that.
Really?
It's a cartoon show for kids.
Oh, okay. Okay. Shaping how kids speak before...
Not a good one, but it is very popular.
Before traditional accents and habits settle in. Parents describe catching their kids using American expressions or even adopting a U.S. accent mid-sentence, which I think is hilarious. When you can do that, it sounds cool. Yeah. Other Americanisms, including apartment for flat, closet for cupboard, and diaper for nappy.
Or shut up, I'm walking here.
The trend has sparked mild concern among some parents and commentators. There's a mix of...
So in Britain, what do old crabby people yell? I mean, here they yell, get off my lawn.
Well, they'd say, get out of my garden.
Nah, get off my lawn works better for me. Okay, go ahead.
It's a mix of cultural anxiety and nostalgia for BBC sandpapered received pronunciation. Excuse me. Linguists, on the other hand, say it isn't a crisis so much as the natural evolution of language in a world where Peppa Pig now shares screen time with YouTuber energy challenges and fast-cut TikTok shorts. Kids will mimic what they hear. Right now, what they hear isn't strictly British.
No. Actually, what they hear in Britain isn't strictly British, so...
Yep, so they're just don't get your nappies in a twist.
That means don't get your undies in a bunch.
Well, strictly speaking, it's don't get your diaper in a bunch.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
Come on.
I don't care about certain fetishes. I just don't.
There's nothing like bunched nap or twisted nappies to ruin your afternoon.
Although that would make an interesting name for a band.
Twisted Nappies?
Why not?
You're right.
See?
Which reminds me of a song I should write.
I hate myself. Less than competent criminal from our history. 'Twas December 2023.
Dum, dum, dum.
As first responders did what they did, they responded.
First.
They were assisting a person, quote, experiencing an altered mental state in Columbia County, Florida.
Are they certain they weren't in Washington, D.C.?
No, they're pretty sure they were. Well, there it's hard to tell.
Right. Are you okay? Yeah, well, he seems normal.
Mr. President, please. Stanley will... Listen, AutoPen was a great plan.
It was.
35-year-old Stanley Williams hopped.
Hopped?
Well, he jumped into the waiting ambulance and then drove away, according to Click Orlando.
He hopped into the ambulance and hoped he
Why does this
away.
feel like something that you would have seen in Mother Jugs Speed? Really?
Tell Fishbein, burp. That was my favorite line from the whole movie.
There were several favorites. That wasn't in it. Mostly the play on words was fun, and you wouldn't hear them today. But officers didn't have to chase him down at all because Williams simply drove the stolen ambulance to the Sheriff's Office Operations Center. Main entrance.
I figured this would be quicker.
Yeah, he was arrested, taken to a hospital for examination. He's looking at grand theft and evading law enforcement charges. Is he really evading law enforcement, though?
When he drives right to them.
I think you steal an ambulance, you'd hit the lights and sirens to get to the sheriff's department. I don't know if that's evading or just...
They kept shouting at me, get on the ground, put your hands behind your back. This was going to take forever.
Do you suppose then he started yelling about him being, racist and blah, blah, blah?
I would hope. Otherwise, how could he hold his head up?
Otherwise, what was the point of all this?
From History Facts, what we're doing a lot of history this week.
Well, we're old.
You're going to love this.
For us, it's like yesterday. I could remember yesterday.
Well, this is more like 2 days ago. Luxury ocean liners were at the height of their popularity at the beginning of the 20th century.
They were.
And ships like the RMS Mauritania attracted wealthy first-class travelers with lavish dining rooms, opulent lounges, and plush accommodations.
And places like the USS East End got a little lower clientele.
When World War I struck...
Wait, hang on. Go ahead.
When World War I struck, several ocean liners ended up being drafted into the war effort as hospitals, troop transport, and even
munitions.
Battleships. Yep. 2 of these converted ships met in battle.
Filled the battleship and his younger brother, the Dreadnought.
With the one vessel disguised as the other. And neither built for fighting. What followed was pretty awkward.
So is it the naval equivalent to...
Yeah, I think so. One of the ships was the SMS Cap Trafalgar, a German 3-funnel passenger ship that was docked in Buenos Aires when the war broke out.
Should have stayed.
Planning to use the ship to disrupt British trade in the region, the German Navy outfitted it with guns and a crew of more than 300 soldiers. Boy, those guys had the best lodging for a while.
Wow.
Right? How do you like your bunk? Oh, you wouldn't believe it.
It's to die for.
For a final touch, they removed one of the funnels.
Does mess hall have caviar? Yes.
And painted the You wonder what the evening floor shows were.
Nope. Don't want to even think about that. I've seen that episode of MASH.
And painted the remaining 2 to look like the 2-funnel British ocean liner RMS Carmania. Meanwhile,
back at the ranch,
the British Navy armed the Carmania with its own wartime makeover.
Well, sure. I mean, that's what you do.
A more militaristic all-gray paint job, for one. The Carmania was sent to Trinidad, a small island off the coast of Brazil, to check on intelligence suggesting a German ship coaling facility where they would load coal, right?
Well, that's what you do at a coaling facility.
Yeah, well, I didn't know at first, and I had to think about that. There, they found the German Cap Trafalgar posing as them. Suddenly a much less effective disguise.
You're not them. We're us. What?
The ensuing battle was sloppy. Crews on both ships had no way to coordinate with one another like they would in a real warship, so gunners just fired whenever they thought they saw something to shoot at.
Well, there's a big boat. Aim for that.
Both ships were badly damaged, but Britain's Carmania ultimately prevailed when the Cap Trafalgar fled and sank. We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Literally. I served on a boat that destroyed the boat I was on.
I sank my own ship. Sort of
That's kind of like he's now his own grandpa.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, heavens.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.